Howdy y'all and welcome and happy President's Day. Did you know that originally President's Day was established to honor George Washington's birthday, which is on February 22nd? However, in 1971, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act was passed, shifting the celebration to the third Monday in February. This move was intended to create more three-day weekends for workers, but it also informally broadened the holiday to honor Abraham Lincoln, whose birthday falls on February 12th, and eventually all U.S. presidents. However, the official name of the holiday remains Washington's birthday according to federal law. So there's a fun fact you most likely never knew about President's Day. Other than, of course, George Washington's tradition was, of course, he went out to look for mattress sales because President's Day is all about those mattress sales, as you all know. And usually you can buy everything for $5, which probably with inflation is more like 10 or 20 bucks nowadays. So again, happy President's Day, and hopefully y'all had a great Valentine's Day as well. So on to the weather here. As it has been very quiet here as of late, we can see the keywording here by the National Weather Service. They're stating that some fire weather could be possible here in the central and southern plains, while some storms could be possible out there in the western part of the country, as it has been a very quiet winter, surprisingly, out there in the Rockies, and it's looking like some activity could be picking up. Because as we take a look at the 8 to 14 day U.S. hazards outlook, we can see from the 23rd all the way into the 1st of March, could be dealing with some heavy snowfall and rainfall up here in the Pacific Northwest and West Coast. Now, of course, other than the western part of the country, it's looking like severe weather activity could be starting to pick up, especially here from Missouri all the way into Ohio, as a 15% chance for significant severe weather could be possible here on Thursday. Now, we don't know what the main hazards will be just yet. I'm sure all hazards will be issued, including tornadoes, high winds, and large hail, but I'll keep y'all informed on X and Facebook as this starts to develop, as we did have some severe weather, I think a couple days ago down here in the deep south, as a lot of tornado warnings were issued, and I think there was a couple tornadoes that actually touched down, so hopefully everybody's alright down there. But it's looking like severe weather season is starting off with a bang, and I will have my spring outlook video up here at the end of this month. That's what I've been working on here as of late. That's why I had to push this video back to today because of that. And it's looking like we could be dealing with another active severe weather season, at least to start. Now we're going to take a look at something we haven't taken a look at in quite some time actually, which is our troughing and ridging patterns. We usually take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly map, which is pretty much the same thing, but this is a little bit different. We can see currently in a ridge here for much of us here out east and in the central part of the country, but a little bit of a trough here on the west coast, and that's why there's a threat for heavy rainfall and snowfall out on the west coast, is because of this trough. Usually ridges are associated with good weather in most cases. Troughs are usually associated with bad weather in most cases as well. And as we push this forward, we can see the western part of the country coming in on a major trough, while the east is coming in on a major ridge, which is resulting in a quiet weather pattern out east and an active weather pattern out west. But of course, this is going to change as we head into the end of this week, as we have a threat for severe weather here from Missouri all the way up into Ohio. And you can see the reason why here. We got some major wind shear over this area, which is resulting in some severe weather, including possibly tornadoes. So make sure you heed those warnings when they are issued, even though if it's a radar indicated tornado warning, please seek shelter accordingly, as if it was an actually confirmed tornado. So keep that in mind. But we can see we're going to be in this little troughing pattern all the way through this weekend. And we're going to be back in a ridge as we head into next week. But then watch as we head into the beginning of March. I'm keeping my eye on this, by the way, as it's looking like we could have a potential severe weather outbreak somewhere here in the central and a little bit of the eastern part of the country as we head into the March 1st time frame. You can see the wind shear is pretty much maxed out here over Missouri and Illinois, so this is over 300 hours out. Keep this in mind, but we do got a storm system here that could set up here in the central part of the country, which could mean severe weather could be possible from Texas all the way up here into Michigan. So that's a safe bet on where I would probably say there would be severe weather at, but of course this is well over 300 hours out. This will change between now and then, but could be some severe weather here anywhere here from the central plains all the way into the eastern part of the country. So I'll be keeping my eye on this, of course, as this does start to develop. So let's go ahead and get into something y'all are probably more familiar with, which is the simulated radar. We can see start off the week this week pretty quiet here in the central and eastern part of the country. I'll take it after coming in on such a wild ride here at the beginning of the month. But we can see the western part of the country is coming in on an active weather pattern with some significant snowfall in the Rockies, as well as out here in the west coast where a lot of rainfall and snowfall is going to be occurring out there. It's going to be heading our way. So we head into the end of this week as a severe weather threat has been issued on Thursday. I think it's going to be more of a Thursday evening event. But I'll be keeping y'all posted, of course, on X and Facebook as this starts to develop as well. And it's looking like we could be dealing with a potential nor'easter up here in Massachusetts, Delaware, upstate New York, potentially, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Could be some blizzard-like conditions up here. After that moves out, looks like we're going to be back into a quiet weather pattern again as we head into the end of the month. But watch as we head into March. Here's that storm system I was talking about earlier. Now, the setup is to be determined as to where it will actually be at, but really, a safe bet would be really anywhere from Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, all the way over here into Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, and possibly into Mississippi and Alabama. I know it's a pretty wide area, but pretty much anywhere here within this circle here where I would expect some severe weather to possibly occur out here at the end of the month with some backside snow and some icing up here up by Canada. So I know this is pretty far out. Can will change between now and then, but usually when we start to see a storm system this far out, we're pretty confident that there will be something. Might not be severe weather, it might actually be a snowstorm, but you never know. Definitely going to be a storm system somewhere here in the central and eastern part of the country at the end of the month, which means there could be some severe weather as we inch closer to March. But of course, like I said earlier, I'll be keeping y'all informed on that too. So now that I've covered that, what do they say about the risk of heavy precipitation? Well, really no shocker here, but the Pacific Northwest into the West Coast coming in on a moderate risk of heavy precipitation out there, but it's looking like the eastern part of the country here from Arkansas all the way up here into Ohio coming in on a slight risk from the 26th into the 1st of March. So it's looking like a soggy weather pattern could be in store out here out east, as well as out here in the west coast as we inch closer to March. What about snowfall? Well, upper Midwest coming in on some significant snowfall. Slight risk for that. Moderate risk out here in the Pacific Northwest, of course, as you're all going to be getting dumped on after coming in on such a quiet winter so far. Now, before we get into the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, I want to go ahead and get into who will get in on the jackpot of rain and jackpot of snow. As y'all already see, of course, there's already been risks issued for this, but let's go and see the exact snow and rain totals you could be coming in on. Now, keep in mind that some of this could be snowfall, as there's going to be some significant snowfall here in the Northeast and in the Pacific Northwest, but if we stick to this, it's looking like the West Coast is going to be getting in on the jackpot. Close second is going to be here out east. As I zoom in here to show y'all, see roughly 1 to 3 inches here out east. Out west, roughly 2 to 4 inches out there in the West Coast. Now, what about snowfall? Well, looks like the Northeast is going to be getting in the jackpot, while close second is going to be here in the Rockies and West Coast. Zoom in here to the eastern part of the country, roughly close to 2 feet of snowfall is going to be possible up there in upstate New York all the way into Maine. Close to 3 to 6 inches here in the upper Midwest. A dusting here in the Ohio Valley, which I'm surprised they even have this because don't look like much snowfall is going to be occurring in the next couple of weeks, but you never know. It could come in on maybe some lake effect snow or some pop-up snow here and there, but not looking like any sort of snowstorm is going to be possible here in the Ohio Valley for the next couple of weeks. So that's some good news. I don't want to see any snowfall, at least until next winter, because we got our bellies full of it here with this past snowstorm. And usually after Valentine's Day, we don't see hardly any snowstorms. Usually we come in on lake effect snow or maybe a pop-up snow shower here and there. Very rarely we come in on any sort of snowstorms after that. So what about the western part of the country? Well, there's still some ski resorts open out there, and it's looking like going to be a fresh snowpack out there for that. So get out there and enjoy those ski resorts if any are open out there. And it's looking like the Pacific Northwest into the West Coast. A lot of snowfall is going to be occurring in these mountains here. So get out there and enjoy those if you're a snow lover. And of course, if you hate snow, then of course, go get yourself a blowtorch and light it on fire. Now, what does the Climate Prediction Center have to say? Well, they're showing us in the next 6 to 10 days, heading to the 25th time frame. Near normal precipitation is expected here out east, while above average precipitation is expected here in the West Coast, Pacific Northwest, Northern Plains, and even Southern Florida, while below average precipitation is going to be expected here in the Southwest, all the way up here into the North Central Plains. It's basically going to be looking like a quiet weather pattern here out east, other than maybe some severe weather here on Thursday from Missouri into Ohio. But other than that, 21st into the 25th, pretty quiet here out east. Next 8 to 14 days, activity could start to pick up as we head into March. Look like severe weather season could be starting off with a bang. but of course, subject to change, of course. We can see above average precipitation is expected here in the Great Lakes, Pacific Northwest, Northern Plains, Upper Midwest, and West Coast, while below average precipitation is expected within pretty much the same areas as shown earlier, here from Southwest into the Northern Plains. So basically, activity could start to pick up here out east heading to March. So it's looking like severe weather season could be starting off with a bang. Now, shifting gears here to the temperatures, there is no risk of hazardous temperatures for the next couple of weeks, so that's some good news. No risk of extreme cold or extreme heat, but let's go ahead and get into that. Now we can see today, it can be pretty nice here amongst much of the country. That snow is finally gone here in southern Indiana, except for some snow piles out there. But other than that, snow is finally gone here, and I'm glad to see it go. Got my belly full of it. Hopefully we don't get any more of it. But see the next couple of days, really much of the same story, really, at least up until we head into Thursday, where there's that 15% chance of severe weather. Wouldn't be surprised if a slight risk is issued from Missouri into Ohio, so definitely heed those warnings if any tornado warning is issued. Even if it's a radar indicated tornado warning, make sure you seek shelter accordingly. I'll be keeping y'all posted on that, of course, on X and Facebook. But we can see cold front's going to be coming through, knocking those nice warm temperatures out, unless you live down here in the southeast. But don't worry though, if you do not like the cold air, this cold snap ain't gonna last too long though, as it's looking like some warm air could return as we head into late next week and into the end of the month, where some more severe weather could be possible again and knocking out those nice warm temperatures yet again. So we're basically going to be in a volatile temperature pattern where I think we're going to be leaning above average. And why am I thinking that? Well, we take a look at the temperature anomalies, which shows us whether or not we're going to be above or below average. We can see that well above average. We head into the end of this week, but then we're going to be heading into a well below average pattern here out east before heading back into an above average pattern. And then we're going to be back into a below average pattern again. We head into the end of the month. So this usually results in severe weather. Usually a volatile temperature pattern results in an active weather pattern alongside of it. So definitely be aware of that as well. And I'll be keeping my eye on this big old troughing system, as there could be severe weather anywhere here in the central part of the country into the eastern part of the country. Basically from Texas all the way up into Michigan is where I would place my bets on where some potential severe weather could set up here as we head into the beginning of March. And of course, this is due to a volatile temperature pattern. We have some warm air creeping up from the Gulf, and then, of course, cold air creeping down from Canada. And whammo, we have severe weather here in the Mid-South or anywhere from Texas into Michigan. But of course, like I said earlier, I'll keep my eye on this as the placement of it is to be determined. And as we take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we can see much of the country is heading into an above average temperature pattern unless you live up here in the Northeast, West Coast, and Northern Plains. Unfortunately, y'all could be dealing with some negative temperatures up here by Montana and North Dakota, which sucks because I remember we dealt with this for a week straight here in the beginning of February, and that sucked. So definitely don't want to deal with that again. But unfortunately, y'all are going to be dealing with that as we head into the end of the month, unfortunately. But don't worry though, it's looking like much of the country is going to be heading into a near normal to above average pattern heading to the end of the month, which could result in some significant severe weather here, anywhere from Texas into Michigan. I know it's a pretty wide area, but usually if there's a storm system that's 300 some hours out, usually you have to include a wide area just to be on the safe side. And with a volatile temperature pattern comes with risk of high winds, as we're going to be heading into windy season here very soon. Looks like there's a moderate risk for that from the Pacific Northwest and West Coast all the way down here into the Central Plains. So to recap this all here, so basically it's going to be pretty quiet here in the central and eastern part of the country to start off the week this week, unless you live in the West Coast where some heavy rain and heavy snow is going to be occurring out there. But watch as we head into the end of this week, where a 15% chance of severe weather has been issued here from Missouri all the way into Ohio. Please be aware of this. I'll be keeping y'all informed on X and Facebook, of course. But if there's a tornado warning issued, it's radar indicated, please take it seriously. Seek shelter as if it's an actual confirmed tornado, because you never know. And after that, it's looking like there could be a potential nor'easter with some blizzard-like conditions up here in Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and upstate New York. Upwards of a foot of snow could be possible up there as well for the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to be back into a quiet weather pattern here in the central and eastern part of the country. It looks like a rinse repeat pattern pretty much, as it looks like the western part of the country could be coming in on another soggy weather pattern yet again, and snowy as well. But watch as we head into the end of the month. There could be a very active weather pattern yet again, with some potential severe weather anywhere here from Texas up into Michigan. I know it's a pretty wide area, but to be on the safe side, it's pretty much where I would place my bets at on where potential severe weather could be at 300 some hours out from now. And there could be some backside snow anywhere here in the northern plains. So I'll be keeping my eye on that, of course. As far as temperatures go, well, it'll be pretty nice for the next couple of days here amongst most of the country. But watch as we head into the end of this week. We're going to be dealing with a cold front coming through. And it's going to be dropping those temperatures down. Could be coming in on a quick cold snap here. Be dealing with some negatives in Montana and North Dakota, unfortunately. I remember when we dealt with this down here in Indiana for a week straight here at the beginning of this month. Don't want to deal with that again, but it's looking like unfortunately you are going to be dealing with that here at the end of this week and into this weekend, unfortunately, so stay warm up there. But it's not going to last too long though, as we could be back into some very warm temperatures before another system could be possible here at the end of this month. It could bring severe weather anywhere here from Texas into Michigan, and it's going to be dropping those temperatures down yet again, as we're going to be in a volatile temperature pattern. It's closer to the end of the month. Now, what about the precipitation and snow totals? Well, keep in mind some of this could be snowfall, but basically eastern part of the country is coming in on 1 to 3 inches of heavy rainfall, while the western part of the country is coming in on 2 to 4, mainly out here in the west coast. What about snowfall? Well, northeast coming in on the jackpot. Close second's going to be out here in the west coast and Pacific Northwest. We can see close to 2 feet of snow up here in upstate New York all the way into Maine, while up here in the upper Midwest could be dealing with close to 2 to 4 to some areas coming in on 3 to 6 to close to a foot of snowfall up here in the UP of Michigan. Usually after Valentine's Day, especially here in the Ohio Valley, we start seeing less and less snowstorms and more of snow showers and lake effect snow. Usually starts winding down after that anyways, so that's some good news. No big snowstorm on the horizon for us anyway, and really, I don't want to see any more snowstorms here, at least until next winter, because I got my belly full of it with this previous snowstorm we came in on beginning of this month. Now, what about the western part of the country? Well, good for the ski resorts out there, but we can see a lot of snowfall is going to be occurring out there. So if you hate snow, then set a blowtorch to it. But if you love snow, then soak it all in. Looks like the central part of the country is coming in on a lot of snowfall as well, close to 2 to 4, to some areas coming in on 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. So I hope each and every one of y'all enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Helps more than you know, because at Here Wins Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. So again, have a great President's Day. Have a great week, y'all. And of course, soak in these nice warm temperatures while they last. I think we could be coming in on maybe 1 or 2 cold snaps between now and the end of the month as we inch closer to spring, y'all. Spring right around the corner, pretty much. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. And until next time, never stop forecasting.
These roses are perfect for her.
Have a lovely day, dearie.
Nice Charon, Billy. And that bouquet for the cutie? Top G move. Your chariot awaits, my lady.
You didn't have to. This is so sweet.
This is perfect.
It is. I love this.
Let's go. You look absolutely stunning tonight.
Thank you. This is so romantic.
Not as romantic as you.
Wonder what he's doing. He's taking a while. Is that him?
I'm okay. These flowers are for you, my love.
These are for you, my love.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
Will you marry me?
Yes. Oh, yes.
You're my everything.
Forever and always. This is so romantic, babe. Happy President's Day.
Happy President's Day, my love.
Perfect. Hold that kiss.
This is perfect, darling.
I love it here.
Hey, congratulations!
What is that?
Help!
No! They have my wife! I swear I'll get her back! Hang on, I'm coming! You deserve it, Liv.
Thank you. You kicked Ria's ass, as you always do.
I vow to love you forever. My heart is yours.
And I vow to cherish you always, my love.
Only the best for you.
I love you.
I love you too.
This night is perfect with you.
Every moment with you is.
Time for our picnic.
Yay, race you! I'm so hungry.
All right, let's sit down.
Here's a sandwich for you,
Thanks, Mommy.
sweetie.